time for part 2. Mojave Pro shock, Cogent. And a little bit of mess in here from the last episode. First thing, of course, get your bike on a good lift, secure it so it's not going to fall on you, and we'll make it easier for you to work on. Next, you're going to take off the side panel and the seat. Side panels and the seat, I should say. Now that you've got the side panels and the seat off, which I shouldn't have to show you how to do that. You guys should be able to know to do that already. It's pretty straightforward. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the tank. And this is a little bit different. It's in a Cherubies tank, 5.3 gallon, also 20 liter. Key thing on that is make sure the petcock is off. I know that sounds kind of, I don't want to be condescending or anything, but you know, there's a possibility you leave it on, then you get fuel everywhere. So I'm going to do that next, and we'll keep going. Okay, that's done. You might be asking what's going on, why am I taking the tank off? Do I have to? Not necessarily, but again, with the 20 liter Cherubies tank, it's big, it's kind of in the way, and I would rather spend 3 minutes taking the tank off than 30 minutes trying to work around it. So that's kind of the concept. That's one of those little helpful hints is, you know, make it as easy as possible the first time so you don't have to go back and do some crazy stuff doing a workaround or making it more difficult to work around, I guess is what I'm trying to say poorly. Next, what you're going to do is we're going to be taking the air box out, and this is the first time I've done this, so this could be somewhat of a nightmare, but I'm going to give it a shot. Okay, this is where the air box and plenum, if you will, attaches to the carburetor, the carby. And of course I've got a bunch of extra wires up in here from stuff I've already added. Anyway, I'm going to loosen the clamp. Okay, next. Which I think it's still 10. Top bolts for the airbox. Messing with it, there's also another bolt on this side. I just learned that. So there's 2 top bolts and there's 1 side bolt. They were kind of hiding it from me, I guess. I don't know. There we go. Okay, I was trying to get this out, but this big plenum that hooks to the airbox that routes the air into the carburetor, it routes it around the shock. I'm going to have to take that apart, unfortunately, which I'm sure this is going to be an absolute joy to put back together. Plenum is disconnected. Out comes the airbox. Now, this should come right out. Voila, there we go. There's your airbox assembly. And here's the shock. And as I mentioned earlier, spring is loose. The rear wheel is off, obviously. And the reason I did it is I'm going to be supporting the swing arm while I'm removing the shock. And with brand new wheels, even stock wheels, if you're running ratchet straps through them or anything like that, I don't want to damage the rim or the spoke. I'm probably being extra careful when I'm doing this. I'd rather be, the old saying, safe than sorry, I guess. It doesn't take that long to take the wheel off. So it was pretty easy. Get down here and hopefully you can see it. There is the nut right there, where the bolt, I should say, it actually screws into the housing of the shock. So let's see if we can break this loose. 12 millimeter. Okay, we might need some heft on this. Okay. I'll get back to you. Okay, I broke it loose. It was on there pretty doggone tight, so just keep that in mind. You take this bolt out. All right, there's the bolt. Shock is loose at the bottom. Top looks to be about the same. Yep. I'm sure this one's got some ass behind it too. Actually, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. It's a lot better than the bottom. I'm gonna have to check my torque specs. Okay. Support the shock and grab the bolt. There's the shock. Loose. Rotate. And hopefully wiggle it out of here. Again, got a good amount of crap up in here. There we go. One old shock. And of course, first things first, take the bolts, put Loctite on them. Again, the DR is one big vibrator with 2 wheels. It'll loosen anything. That didn't sound right, did it? Little Loctite on there, and then we can start putting the shock back in. Alright, been wrestling with this thing, especially the top bolt. What I found out is down here, where it hooks to the dog bone, whatever, put that in there first, get it seated down. Once you get it over that rubber portion, rubber piece right here, then it goes in pretty easy. I've got the bolt started, so that should go in. I think I'm going to be okay now. Okay, got the top bolt secured. Lesson learned on this, guys, you don't necessarily have to use the ratchet strap. I did, but you don't have to. I've got the bolt in there. I just used a swing arm, picked it up until it lined up. So I think we're good now. Hopefully I can get this screwed in here. We'll be good to go. According to the manual I have, the torque specs for these bolts, upper and lower, is 40 foot-pounds. So we'll take the handy dandy torque wrench, see if we can get it. There we go. And up top, with all the crap in the way. There we go. Love torque wrenches. Okay, now I got to put this mess back together. Again, in reverse order. So what I'm going to do is I'll put the air box back in. I'll hook up the carby, put the plenum in, put the air box in, and last thing will be the tire. And then hopefully we'll have much joy. Well, got it back together. So far so good. I'm going to have to adjust the sag, obviously, but went back together. A helpful hint on that: when you're putting the plenum in, where it goes into the carburetor, between the carburetor and the airbox, I took both of those apart. Recommend you put the plenum back on and then squeeze it and kind of contort it in there. It was really hard to get it seated. Just a little tip right there. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this. Hope you found it useful. And I guess suspension is done. One last thing to do on this, now that it's complete: sticker on ye old beer fridge. There we go. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I got to clean up my messy garage. Again, hopefully it was helpful to you. And more to follow on setting sag and some other things. So please stay tuned, like and subscribe as always. Share it if you know somebody that might like the video. And I hope you have a great day. Do something nice for somebody today. And as always, cheers.